Back in the late 60s and early 70s, there was a category of racing that proved incredibly popular in various regions around the world known as Formula 5000. As a low-cost category using older machinery including older Formula 1 cars, Formula 5000 and its variants saw a surge in popularity in the United States, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand and South Africa. Chief among the reasons for its popularity was the regulations allowing up to 5-litre engines to be used, hence the 5000 moniker. Though as quickly as the category blew up, it soon fell out of favour with organisers as other categories like Formula Atlantic became much more popular by the early 1980s. Despite it now being decades since Formula 5000 was a major player in the racing world, the nostalgia for big cars and big engines has held on to this day, and it has brought with it a resurgent need to have a modern day equivalent. But since S5000 isn't fully up to speed yet, I'll just try to explain the current incarnation's short history as well as what to expect with it in the future. So don't go anywhere as I tell you about S5000 as fast as possible. In March 2016, Chris Lambden announced his proposal for a modern-day equivalent of the historic Tasman Racing Series. This proposal, known as Formula Thunder 5000, would use a heavily modified car produced by Swift, which was previously used in the former Formula Nippon Championship from 2009 to 2013. And I mean heavily modified, including removing the iconic two-tiered front wing setup and replacing it with a more modern style front wing, and attaching a 70s inspired airbox to the top of the car. While the organisers were hoping to get a calendar underway for the end of the year, the most we saw of the championship was a couple of show runnings at the end of December. The story picks up again in 2017 with our second championship in question, Super 5000. Another series hoping to revive Formula 5000 in Australia, this time though as part of the support bill for Australia's biggest racing series, the Supercars Championship. Now, technically the idea was first brought around back in 2015, but nothing was officially done with it until a car was announced in June 2017. The car, built by Supershock Racing Engineering, also set to mimic the look of the old Formula 5000 cars, and was to run the engines used in the Supercars Championship. As you'd expect, Lambden was less than impressed with this announcement, as his independent startup was now going up against one of Australia's biggest organisers head-to-head. He questioned why another series would emerge after he had already announced his series, and said that it had the potential to spook customers from picking either series as they competed for attention. Despite accusations from both sides, the two championships actually ended up making amends and merged together a month later in July, with different aspects from both series being used in what would be the final project while keeping the Super 5000 name. Once again, the hope was that the category would be racing by the following year, 2018. As we already know now, this didn't happen. Instead, in August 2018, we saw the series put forward a new name, S5000, and a new car, though vastly different to both the previous concepts. To comply with current regulations in Australia and, let's be honest, modern safety standards as well, the series made the shift to using a current Formula 3 chassis as the basis of its new car. Specifically, they selected the regional F3 car used in the Americas, prepared by Onroc Ligier, the JSF3. But to keep that same vision of a modern Formula 5000 car, the JSF3 was modified to allow a Ford V8 Coyote engine to be installed, alongside what was essentially a whole new rear package. The car saw its first test in December that year, with organisers hoping for a tie-in with TCR Australia for a May debut of the category the following year. But you can see where this is going though, can't you? Once again, this deadline was missed, with the car undergoing further changes to its suspension and cooling, combined with a shortage of supply of tubs from Onroc. Thus, the series' proposed debut was pushed back to September. In the lead up to this date, teams and drivers were finally starting to trickle in, with the biggest announcement being Rubens Barrichello of Ferrari Formula 1 fame. And so, this time for sure, the series made its debut on track at the Sandown International Motor Raceway, featuring a radical weekend format including 2 heats or qualifying races and a longer feature race. 13 cars would line up on the grid, and the series' first round would start with the world waiting with bated breath. After all, it had now been over 3 years since its announcement, so people were both happy and shocked to see it get this far. And although the feature race was cancelled after a massive accident on lap 9, the car itself proved both fast enough and strong enough to be the modern day replacement of Formula 5000. One more round is set to take place in November at the Bend Motorsport Park in South Australia, though in reality, the 2 rounds held this year are simply acting as a testing ground for a real launch of the series in 2020. And with an opening round set to take place at the Australian Grand Prix, the series has gone a long way from looking like a bad joke that will never end to becoming one of the most exciting prospects of the open wheel world. Who knows, with continued success, the series may even end up being Australia's answer to IndyCar or Super Formula in the near future. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then let me know, and until next time, goodbye.